Welcome home, brave heroes. I'm Ash, this is AshQuest, and this is another episode where I show you different crowdfunds on various platforms like GameFound, Kickstarter, and so on. This is episode 2 of this maybe series now, where we're going to look at these, and if you decide they're for you, great. If not, no worries. Lots of different things going on here. I'm always going to be on the lookout for dungeon crawler adjacent, and just stuff that I think some folks in at least my audience might find generally interesting. If I miss anything, or you'd really like me to cover something that you are keeping an eye out on, let me know down below, but don't paste any links. My YouTube comments are set up to automatically nuke links. So just give me the name of something and maybe what platform it's on, and I'll find it. Ballads and Tales Journey of the Brave was successfully funded. It is a dungeon crawler with hand-painted art, and I covered it here on the channel in some detail. I'm patiently waiting for my edition to get to me. Of course, after the quest creator round is gone through, because I got the tier where I get to actually create my own quest and have it be with the game, because I thought that would be super awesome. But the creator has come out with another crowdfund that is sort of adjacent to this, tangentially related, that this is already funded. This is going to come out, but there's more stuff that you can now get to add on to this to make your experience bigger if you want. Optional artwork, variations of artwork that I can't show here on the channel, and that's why I'm not scrolling down. If you know, you know. If you don't know, the link is in the description below. And that's all I'm going to say about this one, but still looking forward to this, and I hope all of the crowdfunds on this go well. But even if they don't, we've got stuff coming to us because this is funded. Temple of Horrors is a dungeon crawler game created by Michelle Quandam as a tribute to 80s D&D game sessions for 1 to 4 players with an average playtime of about 90 minutes. The illustrations are by Mirko Filoni and Ariana Geloni, while Filippo Giovannini sculpted the miniatures. Temple of Horrors has an expansion called the Divine Favor expansion. This looks like a fairly simple setup with our dungeon sprawling across little square cards, and we have pretty detailed character boards with a lot of room for progression. So this is enough for me to want to know more about how this plays and what it is. It looks like we have 3D renders as the characters printed onto the cards, which is a lot of fun. Maybe these are actually the renders of the miniatures. They are the renders of the miniatures. That's a lot of fun, actually. So the card art is always going to match the miniature because it is the miniature. Special free bonus for all backers. The free ogre standee. They're calling it a standee, but I'm pretty sure it's a miniature. Okay. It is a standee, but if you select the Divine Favor Miniatures add-on, you'll receive the Ogre miniature free of charge. I need to know more about this before I know if it's for me or not, but the base game is 59 euros, which means the price for shipping is going to be a bit more if you're in the US. The Divine Favor expansion, 16 euros. Table Buster by Willows and Jaws was shown by Liorlek in the Discord. This is something to keep an eye out on if you don't have a lot of table space. Table Buster will allow you to have a bit of vertical real estate on your table, and you can use it however you see fit. Stack the components here to give yourself trays in which you can roll your dice. You can also move the stuff around so it's slightly off the table, giving you a little bit more centrality to the table. That's not it's a word now. It's a word now. With slots along the edges to take the cards up off their flat 2-dimensional space and place upright, blocking your line of sight. So it's a set of arms on things that rotate after they stick to the trays. And it's just a simple system. It's a simple, ingenious little system that you might find to be highly useful depending on the types of games that you play and depending on your setting and where you're playing them and with whom you are playing. We're just seeing some sample configurations here, but this is like one of them. Here's what several of them could look like. They will clamp on the end of your table, so you will need a table that you are comfortable clamping things that clamp onto tables too. Removable beechwood frame, precision-made steel base. It's not going to break. It's held with neodymium magnets, so it's going to snap on nice and clean. You've got different colors to represent your different players or just different contexts. The base features 10 dedicated expansion slots compatible with the mini vault, the grand vault, the twin vault, and the card altar. Here are your vaults of various sizes. Here's your card altar. It all makes sense to me, and it's all pretty cool looking. It's got a really nice design. Where are they all going to go when you're done with them? I wonder if they thought about that challenge. Kind of showing you how it all goes together and how you can actually have these be different heights. Takes a little bit of assembly to get that going, but once you've got it up where you need it, The testing part is done. These are also slightly expandable, so yeah, you can play a huge game on a really tiny table. This is actually the perfect thing to see, and a picture is worth 1,000 words, and this video is worth 1,000,000. Maybe not 1,000,000. The Chalice Ledge. This will hold your bowl of pretzels or your glass of definitely non-alcoholic beverage and keep your smart device nearby. That's fun. And then there's the Battle Rug and the Shadow Veil. Guys, oh, it's a campaign preview. We don't have a launch date yet. Oh, we want to launch on August 18 through 19. Actually, by the time this video comes out, this will finally have launched. But I don't have any other details. So just check the link in the description below, and this will take you to what you need to see to be able to get more information on this. But all in all, looks really cool. Hope the price is reasonable. This is something I was excited to show off. This is fantasy art by acclaimed artist Max Dunbar. And if you don't know who that is, just hold on, don't skip ahead. Max Dunbar is the artist for several Avalon Hill creations, including HeroQuest. Max Dunbar did the art for Crypt of Perpetual Darkness and quite a few other things. HeroQuest related, also did artwork for Talisman. The artist actually says it better himself. So this is on Zoop, by the way. This is actually not on Kickstarter. I would like to get previews of this stuff. I guess the only way is to really zoom in. Well, he's done D&D and Pathfinder art, I'm pretty sure, as well, so if his style looks familiar, that's why, but you may know him from HeroQuest. So anyway, here's our Max Dunbar stuff, and I've seen plenty of HeroQuest community members saying, you know, bring back Max Dunbar, where's Max Dunbar? And then the art for Crypt of Perpetual Darkness stuff came out, and people were like, what's this garbage art? It's exactly what you asked for. It's Max Dunbar. You don't recognize it because of the border and the UI on the card, but the art is the exact same as what you've come to expect. Something that I've lovingly very much enjoyed throwing around to admonish people who critique the art. But the art itself, besides that, here we go. Here it is. Concept art for Wizards of the Coast, HeroQuest, Talisman, Heroescape, Reaper miniatures, and more. And this legacy being gathered into one extraordinary volume, a collection of never before seen concepts, fan favorite sketches, and ornate illustrations presented in a lavish hardcover edition that showcases every intricate detail. So yeah, a lot of this looks highly familiar. This style actually looks very familiar. It's got that 2000s aesthetic, the 20-aughts era. I definitely see the properties mentioned in the art, and best of all, I can showcase it because I don't believe that this person uses any trace of AI slop in what they do. I'm looking at you, Witch Hunter. I'm looking at you very closely. For a special raffle, this 9x12 original drawing by Max Dunbar will be included in one randomly selected supporter's order. Must pledge at least $65 before shipping. We have a ton of characters here on this 9x12. So now I want to talk about the prices of this stuff, because I think the book for an art book is actually modestly priced. $50 gets you the hardcover book. That's it. It says up to 200 pages. That's because it started at like a much lower number, and as it continues to get support and blow past the stretch goals, the amount of content in the book will actually grow up to the 200-page amount. Do I think this is a tactic to get people to order maybe multiples or bring in other people and try to spread the word, and that's the incentive? Yeah. I think it's also possible the 200 pages are just going to be a given. Like, you know what? I had such support with my meager goal of $5,000 that I decided to give you guys the pages anyway. Just my personal opinion. I always raise an eyebrow at goals like that. The signed hardcover is only $15 more, and for $3 more you will get the art print in a bundle included. If you are a retailer, you will get 3 copies of the book with the $75 tier, and all of them will be signed. So that's a heck of a markup and a good deal if you're a retailer. There's a tip jar, there's a $25 signed art print, a $150 bust commission. As of the time this video is recorded, 3 out of 10 of these are claimed. It's limited. 5 out of 10 are claimed for the full body commission. It doesn't seem like these are included with the book. I don't know if that's actually part of the deal, or if he's just going to draw your character and that will come with your pledge, but still, that's cool. There are no more of the remarked hardcover or the original art for the back cover, which is the original piece made for this book, which he valued at $1,000 for the tier. I don't know if this tier was inclusive of every other thing, but I would hope so for $1,000. The stretch goals are creeping up to the digital copy and digital wallpapers for all physical backers. It's past the $18,000 mark, right? Yeah, so it's already a 200-page book. It's already a 200-page book. We're looking at color illustrations being added to the book at the $30,000 mark, and I don't think that that means they'll necessarily replace the black and white illustrations. Maybe we'll just get both versions, which would bring the page count up. I don't know. I would really hope that it doesn't replace the black and white though, because like you might prefer the black and white. I've spent too much time on this though. There's still time to back this project, Champions of Rokugan. This is from Monolith Board Games though, which might be a deal breaker for a lot of people because of their treatment of OrcQuest, so do with that information what you will. I want to say OrcQuest was a one-off though, but other people may have had issues with Monolith before that. I'm not here to criticize them, just to observe. Champions of Rokugan is a Legend of the Five Rings game, and it looks something like this with your terrain being kind of segmented off. It looks very much like how Conan is set up, except instead of a bunch of D6s, you're getting some what look like D10s with various symbols on them. Might dictate what your element is going to be for that round. These Goblin Warriors look really cool. So do the Zombie Peasants. They actually look really neat. The Necromancers are cool. The Skeleton Archers are cool. All right, so that stuff's pretty cool. The 6 game boards and the 4 game board extensions are impressive as well. You have the town. This could make for a really cool concept in your current dungeon crawlers if you were trying to gain access to the stuff for use in your other games. The Shinomen Forest has a lot of outlined sections. The Shadowlands, lots and lots of opportunity to move and battle. Wait, the Shadowlands, there's like a big building here. Oh, that's cool. It's a high wall, actually. And there's a bunch of, oh God, what are they called? They're ballastae. There's ballastae on top of these walls, as well as some offices. The crypt, big fan of the crypts. The palace. Actually, the crypt is probably, as much as I like crypts, this is probably my least favorite board out of all these, because all these are so cool. The palace is really, really cool. That is a cool game board. All right, so there's a lot of impressive elements on this. The equipment cards look nice too. But the champion elements, the character boards, those are cool. I'm a fan of dashboards if they don't take up too much room. If they do, then I guess I'd have to go invest in one of the last things we looked at that kind of keeps everything up and out of the way and spaced out. Dashboards you can't really put upright though. All the cubes that you place in the slots would fall out. Ooh, the Yakamo no Oni looks awesome. So did the Goblin Shamans. The Akuma no Oni. The Kuni Yori. The Hounds of the Lost. All right. The aesthetic is really drawing me in. I didn't think it was going to be this supernatural, but it's actually really neat. Yeah, I don't have a preference for the Far East mythology in my games. I do like a lot about the Far East mythologies, but maybe this would be what could break me of that thought process though. It's not cheap. There's a lot of content here, and the price is going to price people out. 310 euros for the all-in pledge with shaded miniatures. Ooh, shaded miniatures? What do you mean? Enhancing all details? So they're like already colored in some way? The cheapest one here though is the Champion Pledge for 199 euros. It's a 2-box pledge, very well stocked, will allow you to experience many varied adventures. There will be no add-ons with miniatures or boards, as everything is included in this pledge. So that's cool. That's cool. That's the gameplay all in. And it has all the stretch goals. That might be the one to get. The Elden Ring Rot and Sorcery campaign, which introduces 2 new core games to the world of Elden Ring, the board game, 2 games that you can start with. You don't need to have any of the previous content. If you want to follow and join in on Elden Ring, you can do that with these. This announces the Machinations of the Witch and Dominion of Rot, which are 2 new core boxes for Elden Ring, the board game. In the lakes of Liurnia, sorceries lay dormant, secrets dwell deep, and the machinations of the witch ensnare even the most cunning. I don't like that name. But it's okay. That's just me being picky, but that's a bad name. It's a lot to say. Meanwhile, in Caelid, the Dominion of Rot, grim festivities await. Can you survive the affliction gripping Caelid and face the Star Scourge? In 2022, more than 13,000 Tarnished joined forces to make Elden Ring the board game a reality, and we did so at a great cost. Now the time has finally come to expand the tabletop lands between with not 1 but 2 new core boxes. And there is a way to experience this that will actually throw you off your game. I think it's actually the way that it's designed. It's the default way. It's not a way, it's the way. The new secrets system will allow you to get the upper hand on enemies, and if you don't, they're going to have the upper hand on you, because there's a lot of abilities that come with this particular one that goes into the Academy of Raya Lucaria and Liurnia, wherein the enemies will be able to mix around the marching orders on you, so it's less predictable. You're not able to read them as well unless you use the secrets system. There's a campaign preview also for the Elder Scrolls Betrayal of the Second Era's Heroes of Tamriel. This is an expansion, actually 5 new expansions for the critically acclaimed Elder Scrolls Betrayal of the Second Era. I believe this is probably going to be, and we're going to follow this now, the end-all be-all to this board game experience, because the Elder Scrolls Betrayal of the Second Era game comes with a ton of the territories and a lot of stuff from the Elder Scrolls universe, and there were really only a few things to cover before it enveloped the entirety of the world of Tamriel. And I believe if this is 5 expansions, this is going to cover all of the rest of that. So if you have Betrayal of the Second Era and you highly enjoy it, this would definitely be something that would be mandatory for you to get. If you thought that it maybe was too easy, or there just wasn't enough there to keep you hooked, this might be something to watch to see if it maybe addresses some of the elements of the game. I know that they are planning to make a gameplay mode that makes the game much, much harder, because there were a lot of people who thought it was really easy to get through the game, and they stuck to their guns, Chip Theory did, and they said, we're very happy with the balance of the difficulty of the game. It's not necessarily meant to be any more difficult than the Elder Scrolls games, which you can mow down enemies pretty easily in any TOS game. Tess, but there were people who spent a lot of money on this and have a lot of time invested in setting it up and learning it, and of course when it's too easy, that doesn't lead to a very fulfilling feeling. So they have a way to increase the difficulty coming, nice and rules as written. So I'm looking forward to this because I have Betrayal of the Second Era unboxing videos already on this channel, and I just want to see what they're going to do with 5 new expansions. Are we going to get the Clockwork City? I mean, there's pretty much everything, every possibility of getting everything else with 5 new expansions. So yeah, excited for this. Wish I could have shown you more other than just freezing it on this campaign preview screen. I guess I could have. Here you go. Dark pacts beckon with the temptation of greater power. Will you choose Fur or Fang, or do you seek more potent blessings in the shadows of oblivion? Daedric princes are willing to endow adventurers with renewed strength for a price. Deslandra still schemes and plots in the shadows, but new opportunities and dangers abound in Tamriel. You hear word from elsewhere that death flies on ancient wings, and wild magic from the Somerset Isles promises to ensorcel and enshroud those who embrace it. Yeah, love everything about that intro. Love Somerset. Yeah, it pretty much sounds like it's going to be the rest of the world, and I kind of think it would be really, really cool and nice if they could expand the core game to where it's not just 3 campaign scenario sessions, but maybe 5 or 6 or even 10. Make it feel like an end-all be-all single campaign through the game, with a campaign that is much longer and introduces higher stakes as you get further along in it. But that's it for now. Thank you very much for joining me on this. I hope to see you in the next exciting adventure, and please consider checking out the Patreon and YouTube membership for permanent benefits that don't expire even after you drop out of the membership. They go a long way in helping me build the channel more by getting better equipment, more equipment, and more better equipment. Until next time, brave heroes, farewell for now, and be sure to drop your recommendations is the word in the comments, but no links. Okay, bye for now.